Hello everyone, welcome to the Tech Tuesdays webinar on Axon and ServiceNow integration. I'm Brinda and I'll be hosting this webinar. The presenter for this session is Sachin Jain, an Informatica veteran from the Customer Success Technologies team handling Enterprise Data Catalog, Enterprise Data Governance, Axon, and data quality products with more than 12 years of experience and has developed a niche in enterprise cloud data management solutions. Before we start this webinar, let's go through some housekeeping tips. This webinar will be for 1 hour. That includes a 45 minutes webcast, and then we will roll over to live for 15 minutes to answer your queries. You can post your questions in the Q&A box that you see on your screen, and we will try and answer them throughout the session as well as 15 minutes after the presentation. All dial-in participants will be muted so that the presenters can present without any kind of interruptions. This session is being recorded and will be available to you through the Informatica Support YouTube channel and the Success Portal. The link for the recording will also be shared with you. You can also put in your feedbacks and suggestions for this webinar, and for the upcoming topics, you can give us suggestions that we will definitely take up in our upcoming topics for the Tech Tuesdays. The Tech Tuesdays webinars is a webinar series hosted within the Success Portal. The Informatica Success Portal is a micro-learning platform that offers free and unlimited learning to all registered users. The Success Portal will show up your success offerings, your customer success manager information, bookings available in the Ask an Expert session, and customized recommendation and content. Here are a few important links that you can go over later that will help you in understanding Informatica products as well as get you onboarded with the products. Over to you, Sachin. Thank you.
Thanks, Runda. Thanks for the introduction. Welcome all for the session Axon and ServiceNow integration. So let's move to the agenda. Agenda has overview, configurations of how do we configure ServiceNow details in Axon side of it, and additional fields from the what all the additional fields if it is required, so that you can configure at the Axon side of it. And finally, we will go for complete demo of it. Let's move to the overview. So basically, why this ServiceNow integration is required, right? What is the benefit out of it, right? So I'll tell you. Suppose if you create a normal workflow which is present in Axon side of it, right? So the stakeholders who are responsible for that, they can do some sort of the respective things, and then they will close it off, right? So that would be the normal workflow that is within the system, that is within the Axon side of it. So now, when a technical guy has to intervene and then he has to do some sort of work on the technical side of it, so probably they don't have access to the Axon side of it, right? So now this would give a benefit on raising a ticket at the ServiceNow. So probably usually the technical guys have access to that, and then they will see, and then they will do the needful, and then they will close it. If it is not valid, then probably they will cancel it, and then the same thing gets updated at the Axon side of it, right? So that would be the benefit out of it actually. So if you have to create in some sort of if I have to tell you some sort of example, right? So if you create a system facet at the Axon side of it, right? So it creates a ticket at the change request systems you have configured, that would be the ServiceNow, right? So and the stakeholders, right? The participated in the workflow, that guy, he'll do the needful, and change request system will track that, and then it updates the process, and finally it notifies the system stakeholder, right? So that would be the ideal job of it. So this is what the overview of it. How does it work? So let's move on at the configuration side of it. So super admin will configure this at the admin panel in the Axon side of it. So these are all the details at the ServiceNow at the Axon side of it. The ServiceNow details has to be provided. So this would be the name, and then what is the URL of the ServiceNow, username and password, right? And the state changes details of it, right? So the details have been provided here. This is what we do create. We do configure at the change request system under the DG operating model in the Axon side. So let's move to the configuration. Again, one more thing at the default change request. Default change request has to be configured because this is configured at the facet level. So now I have taken this as a system facet, and then I have enabled ServiceNow. This has native as well as ServiceNow. This will show in a demo part. So, and rest of the things let it be like this. So change request system as well as the default change request has to be configured at the admin panel. The next would be the additional fields. See, these are all the customized additional fields. Why do we need this? Is like, ServiceNow has much more, the fields like, severity, kind of description, or any other things which are present in the ServiceNow, right? So most of the things are not available as default at the Axon side. So we do ask the user to configure what are all the fields, external fields are required, so that you can configure additional fields, and the same thing gets displayed at the when you create a workflow, so that you can configure those details here itself. So this is actually the format, a sample format of it, and this is what an example for the severity. Okay, so let's move on. We'll show you how do we configure. So the additional fields at the configuration side of it, right? So we do provide like this. So these are all the different additional fields. So when you create when you raise a change request for this, right? So it will show at the Axon side. So this is what the ticket got created, and these are all the priority urgency, all this stuff. So you can configure these things. That's where we would need some sort of additional fields. Even if you don't want, you don't have to provide that. This is kind of optional. Okay. So the next would be the final demo. Yeah. Let's start the demo. So this is the Axon page, and then I log in as an admin now. Log in. So once we log in here, so I would like to show you some of the configurations required for the ServiceNow integration with Axon. Let's go to the DG operating model and change the request system. Once we click here, so we will be navigating to that, and then it shows here so that you can add multiple change requests here. So as of now, ServiceNow is supported. So I have already configured the ServiceNow, and then I'll just click on that, and then I'll show you what all the things. This is the URL of the ServiceNow, and then username and password, and these are all the status fields actually. Okay, so this is additional fields. You can add it if required, so that the priority or the urgency, description, all this stuff. If you want to add it to get more details on that, so you can add it like this. Okay, so this is the change request system. So you need to configure at the admin panel level. So once you are configured with these things, right? So now we need to select the default change request. So this would be selected as a system level, facet level. So I will select the system system facet, and since it is configured now, so here it shows whether it is a native or a ServiceNow. I have selected it as a ServiceNow, and rest of the things are, if required, you can make some sort of changes or let it be like this. Okay, so these two things are the major things at the Axon level. An admin has to be configured actually. So once this is configured, so let's go, and because the ServiceNow is now configured at the default change request for the system facet. So let's go and then create one system. Say demo underscore ServiceNow underscore say Axon underscore integration. Okay, so I'll select the same as description. Let it be rest of the things. Okay, so I'll say save and close. Now I'm being the admin, so I have created a system. Um, so let's go and add one stakeholder who is a web user for that. So I'll select, I'll just get an edit, and then probably I'll add one guy as a stakeholder for this. The reason is he is going to make some sort of changes. So he's the one. Okay, so now I'll say save and close. So what I did was I just created a system and then I added a stakeholder for this, who is a Mia Jackson. Okay, now what I'll do is I will log out and then log in as a web user, which I have added as a stakeholder to that. So I'll copy his username and then I'll just say okay. So I will be logging in as a Mia Jackson. So now he will get a notification saying that what has been added actually. So system business SME for this particular system. So let's get into that. So now with the system, we could see that a stakeholder being added actually. So let's go to the summary side. So let's make some sort of change here actually. Say let's try to change the description which we have added previously. Okay, so description is like this. Edit the description by Mia Jackson. Okay, so what he did is he changed the description of this, and then he will say rest of the things he will keep it like this, and I will say save and submit. So when he says save and submit, and then internally it calls the default change request system there, and then it creates one ServiceNow integration ticket actually. So this is what the change request. So here you could see, has been generated, and this is what the ticket number actually. Okay, so I would like to show you one more thing on that. So let's go to the particular system, as well as see here. This is one change it requests, see view original as well as view changes. So since it is at the original level, say it says DevOS and Axon integration. Okay, so now if you say view changes, so it show you what are the changes. Edit the description by Mia Jackson. Okay, so this is what the change is actually requested for now. Correct. So now let's go back to that particular change request. So from there, we will try to go to the, this is what the ticket it got generated is a ServiceNow ticket, and status is on pending stat. Okay, so let's go to that, particular, this is the ServiceNow and then ServiceNow ticket. Okay, so now he will say, okay, the change has been requested by him, and then he will view and then he will analyze it, okay, whether it is correct, and then he will say, okay, yeah, so, change is accepted. Okay, so change is accepted, and then we'll have a resolution. It's solved, and I'll say solved. He will update the resolution. Okay, so now we will change the state as closed, and then from the ServiceNow point of view, so he will say update. Okay, so now from the ServiceNow, he has closed the ticket because since he has accepted the changes. Okay, so the guy who's if there is any other changes, so he will verify properly, and then he will come back and then he will say whether it is closed or whether he can say some sort of cancelled or something like that at the ServiceNow integration, so that the same thing gets updated at the Axon level, saying that the Axon status, it says completed, right? So, and if you go back to the particular system, so this is actually the change request, it got closed, and then this is the system, and you could see edit the description by Jackson, right? So this got updated now, correct? So this is how at the governance level, at Axon level, so we do integration with the ServiceNow. So there is one more thing which I would like to show you on the data marketplace. Okay, so let's log in as admin, because one simple configuration is required at the marketplace as well. So log in as admin. So for the marketplace, there is one EBF has to be applied on top of 7.0. So this is very much required. So EBF is required on top of 7.4 for the marketplace only. So once that is applied, so that an admin can go to the settings, and then he can select which is the more internal, or he can automatic, and then who is the provider for that. ServiceNow is already created at the admin panel level, so it will display, and then you can select that. Okay. So this is at the admin level. He has to do some sort of simple configuration by an admin actually. Now let's go to the how this works here at the marketplace level, right? So now he is being the admin, so I'll just log out as a admin. So let's log out. Let's log out. Mouse is working differently. Okay, so let's log out, and what we'll do is log in as Mia Jackson. So for Mia Jackson, so Mia Jackson, and then log in. So once he logs in, right? So let's go to the data marketplace. So he will go to the data marketplace, and then he will see here. So okay, so at the business side, so you would need this KYC status. Okay, so now what he will do is he will check all the stuff, and then he will say, okay, check out. Okay, so you would need the data set info for my reporting purpose. Okay, so let it be like this, and you would say next. Okay, and then he would say these things are ready, and then he would say submit order, and also you will go to the particular usage delivery method, and then he will go here, and then he will select that. This is what is requested for. Okay, right? So now this is the what the ServiceNow ticket got created. Okay, so now it went to a particular owner. This guy is the requester actually. So now he will log out. Okay, since the request is made, I will log in as an admin since he is being the admin, and then he has rights to, give access. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll go to the data marketplace, being an admin, so that I would see who are all requested, something like that, right? So Mia Jackson has requested now just KYC details. Okay, so now I'll select this one. Okay, so now this is what he has requested for KYC status. Okay, so he has options to select where the data is going to be provided. So he can add, say, I'm going to provide it in, Amazon AWS S3 location. So he can provide all this description here. I would say add. Okay, so this is the default one which he is going to select, that he has requested the data set, and this is going to be available in that particular location, AWS S3, correct? So he has updated the delivery location and all this stuff. Okay, so now he will go back to that particular one and then say, okay, approve request, and then say approved and selected the delivery location as well. Okay, so he would say, and right, so approve request. Okay, so once he is approved, and he is being the technical owner because he is the admin, right? So now let's go to the particular ticket. This is the one. Okay, so here this is what the ticket. So the technical owner will move this particular data set which is hashed actually for some sort of reporting purpose, right? He will move to the Amazon S3 location outside of it actually, and then he will say, okay, who is done actually. So particularly this guy has done it, and then he will provide some sort of resolution saying that solved, and then he would say, okay, this is what the location it is available and all. Okay, so then he will make some sort of status as closed. Okay, after making the data available in that particular location, he will update this at the ServiceNow. Okay, so now once he is done, and then he will come back here, and then at the Axon level, now he will say, the fulfill, because he has, this is the delivery target, right? So he has given all there, and then probably he'll update this comment saying that it's available at the location, right? So once he is done with these things, he will say fulfill. Okay. So from the owner point of view, so now consumer has requested, and from the owner point of view, he has provided all these details with a specific delivery location, right? That is on the AWS. Now he's an admin, right? Now we will log out from here, and then we will say log in with that consumer, and then because he would have received some sort of intimation saying that we have accepted whatever you have requested for. So now he will go to the marketplace. So he will check out what is requested and whether it is approved or not. So he will say, oh, okay, so I have requested the KYC check status, and then it is, the order is fulfilled. So now he will go here, okay. So you would see the access details now. Access details of delivery method is like this, all this stuff. Okay, so all these details are available at the ticket level now. So this is what the basic integration between the ServiceNow with data marketplace. So in this one, I showed at the Axon level, the ServiceNow integrations at the facet level when you have to create some sort of process or system or something like that. It can generate a ServiceNow ticket, and here also at the data marketplace also the ServiceNow integration is available. Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you.
Everyone, please post your questions in the Q&A box and we'll try and answer them. Sorry, Sachin, go ahead. I think we have one question from Ashish. Can we monitor the real-time ServiceNow ticket status in Axon?
Yes, for the data governance side of it, not for the data marketplace.
Okay, thank you. Next question from Tammy. What version of ServiceNow?
As of now, the latest version of ServiceNow, and also the Axon, also the latest version.
Okay, thank you. Next question from Kathleen. Is Jira supported?
No, Jira is not supported as of now. Probably it is in the roadmap.
Okay. We
yeah,
have another question. What is the EBF that we have to apply to 7.0?
Yeah, so please contact the support team for that EBF. The number will be given to you guys.
Okay, thank you. Sachin, are there any questions that you would like to elaborate on that you already answered that everyone would like to know or something?
Okay, so I could see Thomas. Let me open the question. Okay, so you showed username requirement. Yeah, you showed a user requirement to integrate with the ServiceNow. Is there an option to use an API key instead? So as of now, through API is not possible. So that is in the roadmap. So as of now, we need to provide the username as well as the password in the admin panel of Axon side. That is the ServiceNow details has to be entered over there actually. Yeah. So there is another question. Is it possible to raise the ticket in ServiceNow only after the approval from data owner? No. So the ticket will automatically get generated from the Axon when the web user, start making some sort of changes at the facet level. So the respective, ServiceNow ticket gets created at the ServiceNow, and it will be intimated to the respective persons. So this is not possible. So we will take this as an kind of enhancement request. So probably please wait for the future releases. Yeah.
Okay, we have one new question, Sachin, from Venkata. Can we compare Axon data governance with GitHub?
Now, what sort of comparison is it? So we would need some more information.
Could you please elaborate on your question so that Sachin can answer your question? Moving on to the next question, we have one question from Prashant. Is ServiceNow integration requiring an additional license?
No, the normal license do have all this stuff, so you don't need any additional licenses for this.
Okay, thank you. Next question from Raymond. How to get historical records out of ServiceNow?
If I understand correctly, historical records in the sense it's a historical ticket which gets generated from the Axon side. If that is the case, we need to look at the particular change request. So what is the service now it got created?
Okay. Everyone, please post your questions. Yes, we have one question from Ashish. Do we need any additional license for ServiceNow integration?
It's answered. No.
No. Yeah, I think we had another attendee asking the same question. Please post your questions in the Q&A box. Jin and Rakesh are there to help you with the queries. Also, the recording for this webinar will be available tomorrow in the Informatica Support YouTube channel and the Success portal.
Any other question, guys?
Let's wait for some more time before we can close this. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, please do attend our survey that follows. We would love to know what you expect in our future Tech Tuesdays, and also the feedback for this session. One question, Sachin. Can a ServiceNow ticket be automatically generated as part of workflow?
Exactly. So when we configure ServiceNow as an external ticketing system, and we configure for the particular facet, whenever the changes happen, right? So it automatically creates the ServiceNow ticket.
Okay, thank you.
So Vrunda, I could see one more question from Andrew. Can ServiceNow be integrated with IDQ as well for workflow change request? No, not at the moment. No, not at the moment.
Okay. We have one more question from Ashish Sachin. Can we generate the ServiceNow ticket as task level within the Axon workflow?
No, not possible.
We have another question again from Ashish. Do you have any plan to add this in the future release? This is a follow-up question to the previous one.
Yeah. So probably, thanks, Ashish. So probably we will take this as an enhancement request. We'll update you guys on that. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. So it seems we have answered most of the questions. If you have any queries, again, please post your questions in the Q&A box. We can wait for some more time. There is another question, Sachin. Is it possible to cancel ServiceNow ticket from Axon?
From Axon, it's not possible. So when the tickets get initiated at ServiceNow, so user has to cancel by setting that status as cancelled at the ServiceNow.
Okay, thank you. We have another question from Andrea. Can you tailor the workflow in an easy manner to trigger the ticket creation after data owner approval?
There is some plan to do some sort of changes at the data marketplace workflow creation, and then user can interact with those things, and then only probably can allow to create once the data owner is approved. So that changes are going on. Probably please wait for the next releases. So for time being, it's not possible.
I think we already answered our next question as well, that it is planned for the next release. So Sachin, Andrea is asking if that's going to be during November release.
No, not at the November release. We'll keep you posted on that. No, you need to get some sort of information from the product. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sure. So hoping that we have answered most of the questions that came in. If we have failed to answer any of your questions, please write to us in the feedback survey that follows. We will again get back to you with answers. Hope everyone is safe and sound, and please stay safe, and see you on our next Tech Tuesdays. Also, thanks everyone for joining. Thank you, Sachin and Rakesh, for helping out for the webinar. Thanks a lot. See you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.